Hello and welcome back to the GB Fantasy Football channel. In today's video, we're going to be looking at those players who could potentially be the biggest game breakers across the database, the player pool, and allow us to get those much needed differentials in our team and the big hitters, of course. First off, I'd like to thank you all very much for the support over the channel over the past few days. It's been incredible. The subscriber count is going up and up and up, and it's just really nice to see that there's so many of you coming to see the content. Don't worry, there'll be plenty more before the game launches and afterwards, of course. It's nice to see the Sun Dream Team player pool coming out in force, especially with FPL currently in looming. Who knows? But the Sun Dream Team app is well and truly underway. If you can, please do drop a subscribe on the channel. Greatly, greatly appreciated. It really is. And a thumbs up as well to push it out to all other Dream Team players. Without further ado, let's crack on with the video. As mentioned in the intro, these players do consist of people I think might be slightly underpriced or players who are potentially transferring from one club to another that Sun Dream Team have kind of overlooked in many ways. Now, the first player up is James Matei of Manchester City. Now, there'll be another player in this list who, same as James Matei, performed extremely well for the England under-21s over the summer. His performances show he needs to be playing football week in, week out. He's been linked with Germany, but for us on Sun Dream Team, it's much more beneficial if he transfers to a team in the Premier League. There's been certain teams in the mid-table. I think Brentford and Brighton might have been a few that have been touted for potentially looking at McAtee as a signing. I think Wolves have also been thrown in the mix. They've still got that Cunha money, of course. I think he'd be a fantastic asset. Getting in the box is obviously. Is James McAtee our new Cole Palmer? I think he has the potential. At only 2.5 million as well, with the lowest price in player this season being 2 million, he's nearly basement price really. At 2.5 million for one of those teams, which could potentially include a League Cup second round fixture as well. I think he is one to look out for in the transfer market and of course on the Sun Dream Team app. The second player on the list today is the same player I've just mentioned in the previous section. It's James McAtee's national team mate, and that is Harvey Elliott of Liverpool. Now, if rumours are to be believed and true, Liverpool are on the lookout for Isak. Could they be looking at selling a few fringe players, a few players that haven't actually broken fully into the first team and established themselves yet? And if that would be the case, Harvey Elliott. There's been murmurs and rumours that he wants to play first team football, and understandably so. He's had a fairly long career. I think he was at Fulham when he was 16, 17. I think now might be the time for him. 3.5 million, he is towards the top end of things budget wise for a potential game breaker. But if you've watched Harvey Elliott, the goal against PSG comes to mind. He has that attacking potential. He gets about a bit. No doubt on the Sun Dream Team app, he'd have the tackle potential. He'd have probably bonus points for dribbles. You'd have long shots, shots on target. The goal threat is there. I think he is the complete package. He would kind of remind me a little bit of Declan Rice from last season for Arsenal. I think they're priced very similar. I think Rice might have been 4 million, 3.5 million. So Harvey Elliott, if he can get somewhere, if he can maybe move to a team just outside the top six. I mean, if he moved to a team inside the top six and actually got game time week in, week out, I think you'd see him in pretty much everybody's team. This player is a player that's just been promoted with Leeds. He is on the upper price section at 2.5 million for what I'd like to pay. But if you watch some of his performances last year in the Championship, you'll know how important he was for that squad. Tackles, I don't think will be a problem. I think interceptions, passing bonus, you get that third tier on the passing bonus, of course, for over 25 passes. I think Tanaka is a potential candidate for that price bracket that enables us to get the big hitters. Will he score you goals week in, week out? Probably not. Does he have assist potential? Sometimes, but it's more the defensive, dirty side of things with Tanaka. Can he be that player to pick us up between, I'd say, 4 and 7 points a game? For 2.5 million, I'd definitely take that. And similar to the first two on this list, Leeds not being in Europe, you're looking at a Carabao Cup fixture in the second fixture as well, the second game week. And these are the players that you've got to look out for. Will Leeds rest players in that competition? Maybe. but I think Tanaka offers a really, really good route into a 2.5 million bracket player. We have another English player on this list. I know, and he is Reece Nelson. Now, last season, as an Arsenal fan, he showed a bit of promise at Fulham. The early signs were good. I think he played in the front three, certainly an attacking front three behind the forward of Smith Rowe, Iwobi, and Reece Nelson. Arsenal, past and present, right there for you. But Reece Nelson, I think his time at Arsenal is well and truly done. We, I mean, if rumours are to be believed, you got Rodrigo. More seriously, Eze that Arsenal are looking at. I feel like Arsenal team has moved past Nelson quite substantially. But for dream team wise, I think Nelson offers a very good opportunity. Now, Arsenal being linked with Eze, there's lots of rumours that Nelson will be going to Palace. They've got historical interest in the player. I think you've got dribbles, you've got passes. He's got an eye for goal. Now he's been decent over the years for the goal scoring. Bournemouth at home 3-2 comes to mind. I think he can work his way. If you remember Smith Rowe from last season when he went to Fulham, it's a similar sort of price bracket. I think in fact Nelson's a little bit lower in price. So once again, that 2.5 million bracket where we're all scrambling to get the Palmers of this world and Saka and Salah and Haaland and even Isak in some cases, I think we're all going to need a Reece Nelson of sorts in our team. Now, this is a player that I have seen today. David Ornstein has broke the news that he will be transferring to Leeds United. He had promise when he was at Newcastle. He always had that tenacity in midfield, the tackling, the breaking into the box late for potential goal scoring opportunities, and that is Sean Longstaff. Now, this player, he is 2 million on the dot. He is the lowest price that you can possibly be on this game. And I do feel like, similar to Tanaka, Longstaff will make up probably a midfield three in that Leeds team with a difficult opening fixture, followed by a few semi-decent ones and a League Cup game in the second game week as well. I think Longstaff offers great potential. He will play in that Leeds team. I'm fairly confident he'll start. He won't be a player that's been brought in just to make the numbers up and pad the squad out. Moving from Newcastle to Leeds, he would have been assured of quite a bit of game time at least. And Longstaff, to me, is one I'm very much looking out for. In the draft that I put out yesterday, there was a couple of 2.5 millions, a couple of 3 millions in there in that midfield range. I feel like if I can get a Longstaff in there and redistribute that 1 million elsewhere, I think the team could be looking even better. And the last player on today's list is once again another Arsenal Academy graduate who has moved on to another club, and that is Aidan Heaven. Now, last season he was playing on the left of a back three, and his performances prior to his injury was really promising from a United standpoint. He then came back, he looked decent again, and I do actually think in the Man United starting 11, Amarin trusts him, and that is the big thing. He's trying to rebuild that United team. He's trying to look to bring in players like Mbeumo. He's already got Junior through the door. I think there was linked to Estepinian yesterday of Brighton, but I think Aidan Heaven has really impressed him, and I think for that, certainly until Lisandro Martinez comes back from his injury in about October, November time, I think Heaven's position is quite safe in that team. At 2 million as well, I think he's really, really going under the radar. With a lot of people's drafts, I don't think you'll see him until the Man United pre-season starting 11s come out. And then when a lot of people see him in that team certainly starting with the first 11, that is, people will jump on him. Now, Man United have got Arsenal at home on the first day. It's not a great fixture. But then it's followed by Fulham away and Burnley at home. And also with United not being in European competitions this season, they will be in the second round of the Carabao Cup as well. And that will slot in with a Fulham away fixture. Now, for 2 million, I feel like I could find a space in my team if he really, really pushes and is showing fully that he is part of that United starting 11. I feel like an 8 Nori, potentially a Kirkes of Liverpool, can be offset by a 2 million Aidan Heaven. Certainly one to look out for in my eyes. And that concludes today's video of 6 players who might break the game one way or another. Time will tell on a lot of them. Potential transfers, potential underpriced players. I think pre-season will give us a lot more information on these 6 and a lot more, of course. but these are the six that have sprung out to me so far. There's still many more to see. There's still many more assets that I haven't cast an eye on and have probably slipped through a lot of your nets as well when building your teams. So do leave a comment down below on how your early drafts have been. I'm intrigued to see what sort of structure that you lot have built. Please do check out the socials in the description below. We've got X, we've got Instagram, we've got TikTok. There's lots of stuff going out on there, so please do go check it out. Drop a thumbs up on the video, it'd be greatly appreciated, and a subscription, of course. Really, thank you very much for the support over the last few days. It's been quite overwhelming, but we're trying to build a community here, and I think it's going quite well so far. So that's it for today, and I'll be seeing you in a new video very soon.